Hey guys, welcome back to SEMA 2011. And one of the things in this industry that we always talk about and wonder is how do we get to the consumer and how are we meeting the consumer's needs in this automotive industry? And well, there's nobody in automotive that knows more about the automotive consumer than Lauren Fix, who's joined us today to talk a little bit about consumers' perspective of auto repair.
Thank you. And you know, it is true. A consumer comes through and they don't know they have a problem. They walk into whatever local repair shop. They don't know if it's ASE certified. And because of that concern, that's where us as the industry, whether it be the Apex side and the SEMA side, we need to meet that need. And that's not just when it comes to repair. Because you think, okay, people always think an oil change, what's the big deal? But if you've ever had an accident or something that needs to be repaired, or if you lease the vehicle and it's your responsibility to repair it, that's when it's easy to get tricked and not know where to go. Do you call the insurance company? Do you trust the insurance company? Do you go out on your own? Do you go and get quotes? And because of that, I was out looking for something, and I found this independent verified service, and it's called Verifacts. And I think it's really interesting, and that's how we met.
Absolutely.
And it was a great opportunity to educate consumers about what they should look for because they don't know. And they have to distrust that person and they're on the phone. Is the insurance company setting me straight, or should I ask my neighbor? Do I do it myself? And that's not a good thing.
Right. I think in a lot of industries we have, other industries outside of ours, there are third parties that, for our salons and for the restaurants that we eat in, but for most consumers there's nowhere to go. And so that's when you found Verifacts.
Yes, and it's what we do is really unique, and we love what we're doing. This opportunity, most consumers go look at get their car repaired, and when they pick up the car looks good, shiny, the color matches, and it's clean and smells good. And but the real question is it back to the same crashworthiness that it was before? And they really don't know that till they really have the next accident. And if it's not, by then it's too late.
Right.
And
that's very dangerous.
And that's really the thing is can you really verify that the repair underneath the paint was done properly? And what Verifacts does really that monitors by unannounced visit to the shops and make sure they really follow the right things, they follow the manufacturer guidelines, the best repair practices, and really bring the car back to the right crashworthiness that it was designed in the first place.
Right, and there really isn't anything in place like that now either. I mean, with ASE, they'll do the mechanical side, but they don't have a certification for the collision side. And having talked to ASE recently, they said, we don't know how to do that. We know the mechanical side. You're going to turn a wrench, you're going to put it apart, that we can tell you. This is the first time that we're actually getting something for collision.
ASE is more, it's a technical knowledge of someone. Do they know that? There could be people who have a few years of experience but really know the information very well, but it's very different. So ASE certifies by knowledge base. We have in our industry, we have ICE organizations which trains. Verifacts verifies. We verify did they really understood by the training and by what they were supposed to know, did they actually do that or not? So it's very, very different.
They need to do that for the automotive side with the mechanical too.
Yes.
Because you have a certification.
That's our next time. That's our next
mean you
project.
actually know what you're doing.
Well, I think one of the things that happens in our industry, specifically for collision repair, is that for years there was the mystique that maybe what we were doing wasn't as technical as what the mechanical side was doing. And I think consumers think it's just a little bit of filler, maybe it's just a little bit of paint. But the auto industry has changed so drastically within the last 5 years that what we're doing has become really technical. And I know, Dale, you've done a lot with how things have changed in our industry and some of the technical advancements in collision repair.
Yeah, in the last 5 to 10 years, there's been a profound change in the vehicle construction and design and the use of materials. Extremely sophisticated because the engineers are dealing with two conflicting disciplines. They have to make that vehicle ever lighter because of the CAFE standards. But when you make it lighter, you also have to use much, much stronger and stiffer materials. So they get into some pretty exotic metallurgy. High-strength steels, ultra-high-strength steels, boron, aluminum, even some magnesium. And they form these things in a certain way so that they will for example, deploy airbags in thousandths of a second. A few bad welds up front can change the deployment of an airbag to make the difference between a fatality and a black eye. That wasn't true 15 years ago. So if the guy is fixing them the way he fixed them 15 years ago, the car's wrong, and nobody knows it, maybe not even him. And so the reason Verifacts is kind of changing our industry fairly rapidly is for the first time you have the shop as a way to exhibit what was invisible to the customer before. An independent third party is coming in and looking at the materials and the SOPs and the information, and actually watching the technicians touch the car and apply corrosion resistance, and then documenting it. And they do it every 30 days, again and again and again. Now, for the first time, the consumer is aware, oh, my car's going to behave after the accident in the way that the OEM designers designed it before the accident. And that's why we've got a lot going on right now in changing in the industry.
Right. One of the things that customers in our industry, specifically with collision repair, deal with a lot is we hear a lot about it's my choice. It's my choice where I get my car repaired. But it's more than just a choice. It's making the right choice to do that collision repair. Lauren, people from all over the country write into you on a daily basis. I would hate to see your email inbox. And they're asking questions and on what to do. And so you kind of have that voice of the consumer in your head. What are some of the things that they're looking for in collision repairs that we've been able to fix with having a verified program?
Well, I think they never think of collision until they're in one. It never even crosses their mind. And the same thing is true of a lot of industries as far as the automotive. They don't think about repairs until there's a problem. They don't think about glass damage until they have a chip. And so all they know is what they see on TV, maybe they'll ask a neighbor, or if they're not sure, they might ask the insurance agent. They have to rely on that. The insurance agent can be your friend and maybe not. So it's up to you to ask, are they verified? And they probably don't even know. So you have to be the wise consumer and do your homework, and that's part of the process at Verifacts is educating consumers. So when that situation does arise, you don't feel you're out in the field saying, do I call Better Business Bureau? Well, they don't know either. So in order to get the people that are trained, that do the process properly, to make sure those crumple zones are okay, and there is some really high and unique steels and fiberglass, and they, of course, carbon fiber now. You want that done right, it's not just taking the test, it's being able to do the process properly, put your car back on the road properly, so that if there is, God forbid, another accident, that you actually have that car do what it was intended to do. And I think that's true on the mechanical side as well, and there's no one verifying this. There's tons of people that take tests for anything. Anyone can take a test. You can be a real estate agent, but that doesn't mean that you really know what you're doing, and that's why this is such a great program.
Right. There's a lot of people in our industry that we definitely want to do the right thing. We just need to know that we're doing the right thing and have that verified. So, I'm so excited to see that this is all partnering up, and knowing the reach that Lauren has with the consumers, and then knowing what you do for our industry is amazing. So folks that want to get some more information, Lauren, on some of the consumer advocacy stuff that you have going on, where can they reach you at?
You can reach me on our website, which is laurenfix.com, LAURENFIX.com. And I have a free newsletter, and I'm always sending out great information to educate people, and of course it's free.
That's great. And Farzam, for more information on Verifacts, where should everybody go?
Verifacts.com.
Exactly. Well, I know when I'm out looking for what I'm going to do for maybe where I'll have lunch and where I'm going to have my dinner, I always like to look for what the health department says. And when I'm looking for collision repair, I'm always looking to make sure that that shop's got a VQ rating on their door, just like anything else in this industry. So I encourage you to log on, get some more information, educate yourself, and ensure that that investment that you've made in your auto is good for as long as you have it. Stay tuned. We'll be back a little bit later from SEMA 2011.